Hello, fellow fans. I'm Mark. United with me is my co-host. It's the other half of United We Fan. It's Bryan.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome, everyone, to UWF on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. On the last episode, Bryan and I united to discuss a rewind episode of Ted Lasso Season 1 with Chip and Co. Mark. Before that, we discussed college football movies and some college foosball. On this episode, we unite to discuss all the wonder and mystery and dark colors of Tim Burton. As United We Fan starts now.
All right, let's do this one last time.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Football is life.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
X never, ever marks the spot.
Is Star Wars the one with the little wizard boy?
This is the way.
Avengers! Assemble.
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
Hello, fans. Thank you all for uniting with us as we talk about all things fandom. Please give us a rate or review wherever you listen so we can have with more fans out there on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Follow UWF on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, and Discord to have more fun with us. Join our Discord, and not only do you get Discord privileges of being a guest on a show, guest judge, pick topics, but you get to fan out with us in the fan forums. Bryan, how you doing?
It was only a matter of time, but the world lost an absolute legend in James Earl Jones.
It's true. I mean, The Sandlot, Field of Dreams, Lion King, Darth Vader, considered the ultimate film villain of all time. What else? Hunt for Red October. He's in that.
Did you say Field of Dreams? Because what was interesting is they put it out that Field of Dreams, it said like Field of Dreams star and voice of Darth Vader. And I was like, do people associate him with Field of Dreams before anything? Like, I would have thought Darth Vader 1, Mufasa 2,
yeah,
King of what's the country in back to in Coming to
Coming
America?
to America.
Yeah, what's the name of the country? Oh my gosh, we are both losing our nerd cards right now.
I think he did finish his work on the Lion King sequel that's coming out. So,
is it Ramonda?
No.
What's the name of the country? Oh, Zamunda.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
We don't really talk about the second one.
That was a disaster for a second, and it's all staying in the podcast.
Yeah.
No,
we want you all to see that we're real.
Again, he was 93 years old, a life well lived. He actually signed his voice over to Disney to regenerate his voice via AI going into the future. He did that about 6 to 8 months ago. So technically, we're probably going to hear him again as the voice of Darth Vader.
Okay.
But
okay.
I mean, that's the world we live in now, right? So, but he signed off on it. So, and that news broke. The problem is anytime news broke about James Earl Jones over the last 5 years, it was me thinking it was potentially what happened today. But yeah, like it's just, yeah, rest in peace to James Earl Jones, an absolute legend.
Yeah, I'm seeing if there's anything we missed.
Let's actually just go for it.
The game where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Your Rushmore of James Earl Jones projects.
Star Wars, New Hope.
Yeah, I would say like just the character of Darth Vader. I would say.
Yeah. Mufasa. King Joffrey, of course, from Coming to America. I think I gotta go. What's his name? Terrence Mann from Field of Dreams over The Sandlot. I think I'm gonna do that.
I think I would have The Sandlot and Terrence Mann both on there.
Yeah.
Then Mufasa and I would go Sandlot before I would go Coming to America. I couldn't even remember Zamunda for a while there. So I think
he's funny in it.
No, he's great. He's great.
Oh yeah, shout out to the first Conan the Barbarian as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be Darth Vader, right? Like the greatest. You said greatest villain in cinema history. I mean, he's definitely on the Rushmore of villains.
Yeah.
With
He's
maybe
gotta be
Hannibal, Thanos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, I think we were pretty dang close.
Oh, he's in Meteor Man. If any listeners out there even know that movie, I'll be impressed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jesus.
You don't get to be impressed and then disappointed in me at the same time.
Oh, I'm not disappointed. I expect disappointment from you, so therefore I can't be disappointed.
Expect disappointment, so you're never disappointed.
There you go. Yeah, but rest in peace, James Earl Jones. I know the stage and screen will miss you. So yeah. Kicking it back, there are some rumors out there that Spider-Man 4, Sony going back to can't get out of their own way, might have a new director. And, it is a rumor.
That's been confirmed. It's been confirmed by the proper sites now, Hollywood Reporter, stuff like that.
Go ahead, share it then.
But it's a movie that's not officially announced, right? But
true.
So Destin Daniel Cretton, director of Wonder Man, which is a Disney Plus series that has not been announced yet, but was well into production until they actually had a death on set, which set it back. I believe it's started and completed its production. I don't know when Wonder Man's going to be announced at this point, considering we've passed Comic-Con and D23. But it's apparently done, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Wonder Man. But Destin Daniel Cretton hired on to be the director of Spider-Man 4. John Watts doing the Star Wars thing. He did the home trilogy. I want Spider-Man 4, but if we're going to get Destin Daniel Cretton busy, I want him working on Shang-Chi 2. And let's get somebody else on Spider-Man 4 because I want Shang-Chi 2.
So bad.
Because the rumors are that the Kang Dynasty, like Shang-Chi was going to feature in heavily, and now that the Kang Dynasty isn't happening, they've got to really find a place for Shang-Chi, which shouldn't be that difficult because I feel like he would have chemistry with just about anybody he comes in contact with. At this point, we know for a fact he's met Carol Danvers, Wong, and Bruce Banner. So, at the very minimum, there's your connection.
I just worry he's going to be a Henry Cavill type story where a really good first movie and then big gap, years go by, and then he does like the team up movies.
Feeling
Shang-Chi's better than Man of Steel.
Okay. Like, did anyone out there surprised? Let's get a poll up. Anyone out there surprised Bryan did not like a Zack Snyder movie?
No. I've given Man of Steel flowers before, but I think Shang-Chi's a better film.
Anyways, so the point is, I hope he doesn't walk the same line as Henry Cavill. So
he's been pretty active on Instagram and Twitter and everything else. There was the 3-year anniversary of Shang-Chi this past week, and he said it on multiple occasions, which actually make the joke less funny, but he said something to the extent of how he rates it at an 8.5 because the lead actor is a bit full of himself. He's definitely on a mission to make sure the Marvel fans don't forget he exists.
Yeah. I mean, he was a bright spot in a dark period for Marvel, so, I like give the guy some love.
I wouldn't call it necessarily a dark period. It was 8 months after WandaVision and literally like 3 weeks after Loki finished.
Yeah, but what was happening in cinemas for Marvel?
Well, that's fair.
There you go. Thank you.
So
actually, fair. I did just do a rewatch of WandaVision and I enjoyed it. So it's getting a little better over time with me.
It's because it's great. And
so
it is a prequel to the next series coming out on Disney Plus this coming Wednesday. By the time you're hearing this, September 18th, we will have a 2-episode premiere of Agatha All Along. Listener to the show, Kevin, is 100% out there. that the young man in the theater in the preview whose name is being covered up is Billy Maximoff. I'm not 100% convinced on that, but Kevin is a comic reader. He said there's precedent for it. I'm not a huge fan of that particular actor, but I am a huge fan of Catherine Hahn, and I'm a massive fan of Aubrey Plaza. And I love Borat, who is reportedly Mephisto. So that'll be fun.
Wow. That'll be good. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. I'm preparing myself for possible disappointment.
Do you expect the Agatha All Along theme song to play at the beginning of every episode or just one?
Just one.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Because all
Just
those rumored titles for the show are supposedly episode titles.
Ooh.
Coven of Chaos, House of Harkness, The Lying Witch and Fantastic Wardrobe, or whatever that last one was, like the day before they confirmed. But it is 9 episodes, so it starts September 18th, runs all the way through November 6th.
I think, unless Disney's improved things, I think they need to try to go for 10. They just have, for the most part, issues wrapping things up, but we'll see.
This one's going to be centered around Halloween at the very least, so they timed it right just to be in the spooky season, as you would say.
Spooky, scary. Yep. Well, I'm going to watch it. I'm sure it'll be good after X-Men 97 and Loki Season 2. Disney is doing a lot better as long as we don't talk about Secret Invasion.
That's safe. Yeah, let's avoid that one.
I think they just everyone needs to forget those storylines.
Seems like they also agree with that. Quantum Mania, same thing.
Well, this episode, we are talking about Tim Burton because Beetlejuice did just come out. We're going to talk about all his favorite collaboration, his dream team, films, his work with Disney. But first, we got to talk about our dream team. That is our sponsors.
Hey guys, Diz Life Mark here, and I want to tell you all about the official travel partner here at Chip & Company. Let our good friend Sarah at Destination to Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. Sarah specializes in planning dream vacations for your family. She's an authorized Disney vacation planner, and she can help with every step of your magical vacation. The best thing is that her services are 100% free. Want to travel beyond Disney? Sarah has you covered there too. Want to find out more? Fill out a trip request form over at the website at Chip & Co. or email her directly at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com. Start planning that dream vacation today. Email her at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com.
Welcome back, listeners. I hope you have shopped at Hot Topic recently and pulled out the black wardrobe for this episode as we talk about Tim Burton. Bryan, the fans want to know, have you ever shopped at Hot Topic?
Of course I've shopped at Hot Topic. How many Funkos do you think I have? Does that count?
Have you never bought clothes at Hot Topic?
No.
Yeah, me either.
No, that's not
Anyways.
true. No, I've definitely bought some t-shirts for sure. And I shop at Box Lunch constantly, and same company, so I feel like that counts.
I've been disappointed with Box Lunch. I feel like I'm spending a lot of money and my purchases have had issues very quickly there. So, but anyways, we're talking about Tim Burton because Beetlejuice came out. I'm going to give a non-spoiler review real quick. Enjoyable movie, worthy sequel, but it felt like a TV series with multiple storylines that they tried to wrap up in under a 2-hour movie. And the storylines are just thin and very quickly wrapped up. But like I said, still very enjoyable. I would happily see it again.
Do you think it was being developed as a TV series? That's quite possible. I haven't heard that, but...
No, I mean, I don't think so. But if you watch it, there's one storyline that's very reminiscent of Wednesday. There's another storyline that reminds me of the Beetlejuice musical. Yeah, so there's a couple of slight story and pacing issues, but overall, I did really enjoy it. So We asked our Discord members, please join, and we'll give you some shout outs like we're about to do right now. They're Tim Burton Rushmore of directed movies. Bryan, what are your Tim Burton directed Rushmore movies?
Does it have to be movies?
You're right. Let's do Tim Burton projects.
I don't know any other TV shows he's really done, but I think Wednesday is quite possibly my favorite thing Tim Burton's ever done. He's the creator of it as well as directed the first 4 episodes of season 1. I really like Wednesday. And the monsters in Wednesday also very Tim Burton-y.
I need to rewatch that this Halloween.
I am not particularly a massive fan of Tim Burton. There's multiple people out there that if Tim Burton does it, they will therefore not only see it, but they just know they'll love it. Like Wes Anderson people, they're kind of the same way. I just don't understand it. But I'm going to go with Wednesday. I'm going to go with... I'm not going to put it on there, but I'm going to be honest. I think Sweeney Todd is fun. I understand that the play is... I understand the play is significantly better than the movie from everybody I know that's seen both. But I think Sweeney Todd's fun.
Bryan likes a musical. That's not Grease.
And not The Greatest Showman. Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And that leaves me either Mars Attacks or Batman 89.
I think you got to go Mars Attack.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with Batman 89. So Edward Scissorhands, Batman, Beetlejuice, and Wednesday.
I went with Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Big Fish. I love that movie. And Batman Returns. I know I get a lot of flack for that. So...
What are some of your least favorite Tim Burton films? Is there any Tim Burton film you just absolutely despise, or do you find yourself on the side of if Tim Burton does it, you like his creative image enough? Because I think Dumbo's terrible.
Dumbo is terrible.
You like Frank? Do you like Frankenweenie?
I enjoy Frankenweenie.
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland would maybe be on that list, but then there was the sequel. He didn't direct it, but then there was the sequel, and that just showed you how awful a movie could be. Big Eyes is a underrated movie. Dark Shadows was a little too big.
But you find yourself more on the like side than the dislike side, huh?
I can't believe it. Yeah, I actually really enjoy his catalog.
I don't think Corpse Ride is good at all. It just is not for me. Same thing with Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just not for me. And I think Batman Returns is one of my least favorite. It's probably my least favorite Batman film, to be 100% honest.
This is why Bryan and I work so well as podcast hosts. So let's see. Discord privileges. Mark on our Discord likes Batman, Beetlejuice, Big Fish, and Edward Scissorhands. So we almost matched. Andrew T did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which I thoroughly enjoy that movie. Beetlejuice and Batman are getting a lot of love. He likes Mars Attacks. He's Team Bryan. Patrick, he likes Frankenweenie, so he does. And he went with Sweeney Todd. Oh, man, you and Patrick are not in the same. He did Frankenweenie, Sweeney Todd, Corpse Bride, and Batman Returns. God, so no movie night with Bryan and Patrick. Sarah T did some runners-up with Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Mars Attack. I love that Pee-wee's Big Adventure is getting so much love. I wish Mars Attacks was playing somewhere so I could revisit that one, but that one's got an all-star cast. So, yeah, Tim Burton Rushmore, I agree with you. Or I should say, I didn't realize I was such a big fan of his, but I am. So, but other big fans of his are his, do I want to call them the Tim Burton Avengers? So they're the ones who work with him regularly. There's Danny Elfman, Johnny Depp, Michael Keaton, Helena Bonham Carter, Danny DeVito, and Eva Green. They're the ones who've worked with him the most. Bryan, do you want to guess who has worked with him the most out of that list?
Helena Bonham Carter.
No.
Johnny Depp.
No.
Michael Keaton.
No.
Eva Green, who I have no clue who it is.
She's the Bond girl in Casino Royale.
Oh, okay. I barely know her.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children or something like that. No? The 300 sequel? Okay. Danny Elfman has worked the most. So.
Oh, yeah.
Bryan,
I guess I knew that. I was thinking actors. That makes sense.
You're good. You're good.
Whenever I hear Danny Elfman, I just think of the Family Guy scene from the Star Wars parody that they do.
Uncle Owen? Aunt Beru? Oh my God! John Williams! Great! Now we gotta do the rest of this thing with Danny Elfman.
Let's see. Actors-wise, Johnny Depp has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies. Michael Keaton has 5. Helena Bonham Carter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What was Keaton's 5th? 2 Batmans, 2 Beetlejuices.
Dumbo.
That's right. Yep.
Danny DeVito did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies. Eva Green did the Miss Peregrine's really long title, and 3 altogether. So, yeah. Man, he just needs to assemble them all for one movie. I know Michelle Pfeiffer, he brought her back for Dark Shadows after Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer. She's my Catwoman. So he's got a lot of people he likes to work with, but I like that it's not Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, not the same actor every time. He does mix it up here and there.
Leo.
And Leo. Am I going to get ripped by Scorsese fans? Whatever.
Dude, if you were going to get ripped by Scorsese fans, you would have been ripped on this podcast a long time ago by Scorsese fans.
It's true. We really would have. Really, really would have. So, Danny Elfman, good Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 movies.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of how it works, right? Like you find a director and a composer that work together, kind of have the same vision. That makes a ton of sense. But it also explains why I'm not a huge Danny Elfman fan. I think his Spider-Man score is good, not great. There's and I know Piano Rob is losing his mind right now. Piano Rob loves Danny Elfman. He's just not for me, even though he's 65 and super jacked and playing Coachella.
I know, actually, his little side music projects besides Oingo Boingo, he just had some good stuff. I will admit, some of his music does sound the same if you listen to his Spider-Man and the Hulk movie music.
The Ang Lee Hulk, 03?
Yeah, it kind of sounds just recycled. But I mean, you could say that about Nightmare Before Christmas and Edward Scissorhands. So
I don't think there's a massive. I think there's a lot of similarities between Spider-Man and Batman too.
That's why I get ripped all the time by score nerds, but Batman Returns is just a better score all overall than Batman. It's another reason why I love it. But if you want to listen to different Danny Elfman, check out Big Fish, Good Will Hunting. Check out those scores. He did do Avengers Age of Ultron, and he did do the Joss Whedon Justice League score. So
didn't he also do he definitely did that Marvel movie that shall not be named. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
He did. Sam Raimi.
Because he worked with Sam Raimi. See, again, that's kind of how it works, right?
I think Danny Elfman's music would be great for a concert experience. I would go see that. So
I'm looking at a list that has Alice in Wonderland as his greatest, with The Wolfman 2, Real Steel 3, Hitchcock, the drunk superhero played by Will Smith at 4. Mr. Peabody and Sherman jumping into the top 10.
His score for the Wolfman is very haunting and good if you want a good Halloween score. What else you got?
That's it on Danny Elfman. Please don't make me talk about him any longer.
What? None at all? You don't like his Men in Black score?
It's fine. Like it's I mean, your Rushmore of current composers, is Danny Elfman on it? For you, he probably is, right?
He's not.
Well, there you go. Göransson beats him. Does Ludwig beat him? I guess, does Ludwig Göransson beat him for you? Not
like
enough,
my personal list of
not enough catalog
composers I listen to?
Yeah.
My list is John Williams, Michael Giacchino, I think James Newton Howard, and probably Hans Zimmer.
Would you put James Horner above Danny Elfman?
I love James Horner so much.
This is what I'm saying. So like Danny Elfman,
he's in my top 10.
It's yeah, and that's fair. Like there's not that many more. I'm not saying he's like the worst composer of all time, but I am saying that he's the Andy Murray of composers. He was good, but he was never the best.
Some people, James Horner did this where some of his tunes sounded, you're going to get me on a score rant now. James Horner does at times recycle-ish some sounds. If you listen to like Bicentennial Man, Titanic, and Avatar, you're going to hear some. Danny Elfman, I think, is a little bit guiltier. Is that a word? Guiltier?
More guilty.
More guilty of doing this with his Tim Burton and Sam Raimi collaborations. So I like it, literally the opening for Sweeney Todd and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory are conveyor type scenes with a very similar score, for example. So, but
looking at this list, I genuinely think Real Steel might be one of my favorite Danny Elfman scores. It's just not a good movie.
I mean, I loved his Dick Tracy score, but then again, if you listen to it, you would go, is that Batman?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go back to Tim Burton.
Yeah. Check out, though, Good Will Hunting and Big Fish if you want unique. Tim Burton, I appreciate his aesthetic, his style. You definitely know, like you said, when you're watching a Wes Anderson movie, when you're watching a Tim Burton movie. You probably at some point will figure out if you're watching a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Because there will be feet.
God, I ever since I saw that one article, I can't unsee it.
Well, and if there's, I can't remember the movie, but there's a movie where he had Salma Hayek like having somebody drinking like gin off of her feet, and he cast himself in that role.
That was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Him and George Clooney play vampire brother hunters. Or they're not hunters in the beginning, but then they of course get
but it's not a terrible movie. Like, Quentin Tarantino, he's a weird dude.
It was a show as well at one point, so shout out to the show if you can find it. Tim Burton, we're on the Chip and Co. podcast network, and probably our Disney friends are wondering, hey, let's talk about Tim Burton Disney. He does have a long history being an animator. He feels that being an animator helps tell stories. I can definitely see that. He has done stop motion with Frankenweenie, James and the Giant Peach, Nightmare Before Christmas. So, Bryan, for our listeners out there, did Tim Burton direct The Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Correct. That is correct.
That is correct.
So, he produced it.
Yeah, I was going to say he created it and produced it, but he did not direct it.
Yeah, he produced Through the Looking Glass, James and the Giant Peach. Have you seen James and the Giant Peach?
Of course.
Yeah, you like it?
Terrified me as a child. I haven't seen it in 3 decades, probably.
That
simply can't be true because that movie's not quite 3 decades old, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Would you show it to your kids? Have you shown it to your kids?
I love Roald Dahl books, so anything based off Roald Dahl, like I definitely consumed. My kids definitely don't know that James and the Giant Peach exists. I'm assuming it's streaming on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be right. So So he did direct the Alice in Wonderland movie. Thank God he took a pass on Through the Looking Glass. God, that movie just hurt to watch. I don't mean to take a dump on it, but he doesn't make only good movies. Like Brian brought up Dumbo.
Confirmed. James and the Giant Peach streaming on Disney Plus.
Yes. He did direct Dumbo. He said he's probably not going to work with Disney anytime soon because of his experience on it. I think that was a great chance for Disney to do something when they were starting or in the middle of their whole let's remake cartoon movies for live action, which they didn't do with Lion King. But with Dumbo, the movie's only 70 minutes. So you had such a great chance to expand on it.
The cartoon is 7. I thought you meant the live action. I was like, I don't remember it being that short. Yeah, the cartoon.
So am I the only one who, if I hear Baby Mine, I just walk away or skip it?
That is my wife's go-to lullaby to all 4 of my children, so I will recuse myself from the conversation. I'll make sure she knows you say hello.
See, tell her that is a very cute mom moment that would probably make me cry. So I salute her. Yes. So, Brian, do you have any favorites of the Tim Burton Disney, Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Frankenweenie, Through Looking Glass, James and the Giant Peach, Nightmare Before Christmas?
Frankenweenie's probably my favorite of that entire group. James and the Giant Peach, I mean, I'm willing to revisit it just to see. But I can't imagine. Again, his animation style is just not for me. It only works for me in Beetlejuice because it's so campy and corny.
Did you ever, speaking of which, did you ever watch the Beetlejuice animated series?
I never did.
Check it out, although look up the intro for it. It's a scary little starting off point with him in his coffin.
It's showtime!
Ooh. Anyways.
I rewatched Beetlejuice the other day. I hadn't seen it in a couple of years, probably.
Yeah.
That movie, it's shocking how little he's in it, to be honest, to get the title role.
Yep.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. He's in it very little. Everyone thinks Hannibal Lecter's in Silence of the Lambs for a long time, especially since he won Best Actor, but he's not in that movie that long. So that's just a good thing. But yeah, Brian, speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, do you think and do you want there to be a live action remake of that?
A sequel, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want a remake of that at all. Like, I think the only thing about that film that works for people is the animation style. Yeah. Like, I think reimagining that as real world, like a 2-sided headed mayor, Oogie Boogie. No. If you're gonna do more with those characters, yeah, no.
Oh my God, I saw an AI recreation of those characters as if they were made like an 80s dark fantasy movie, and the mayor was terrifying.
Trivia time for Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh.
Who is the voice of Jack Skellington?
It is Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride, but the singing voice is Danny Elfman.
You pass with flying colors. Chris Sarandon, who plays Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride, is the speaking voice of Jack Skellington with Danny Elfman singing. That is correct. Nice work.
That is correct.
Catherine O'Hara is a sneaky person to throw on your list of Tim Burton Avengers, by the way.
Yeah.
She was the voice
she's got
of
3
she was
movies
the voice
now.
of Sally. She was in the 2 Beetlejuice. Is that it? There's nothing else she's popped up in?
I think that's it.
I can't wait for 2 months from now when people start watching Home Alone and realize Moira Rose is in Home Alone again, because they remember this every single year and always forget the next year.
Oh my God. I love her. Schitt's Creek.
She's the best. I heard she's got like a very Schitt's Creek Moira Rose moment in Beetlejuice.
She does. It's not annoying eye roll. I didn't eye roll anything with her. I think the only scenes I really eye rolled were the Jenny Ortega scenes. Nothing against her. It's just her scenes were written for what felt like a Netflix TV show.
Jenna,
So,
not Jenny, Jenna.
Jenna?
Yeah.
You're not going to give me a who?
Who?
But let's close the loop on Beetlejuice, and I stop
Yep.
asking you about it. Is it anywhere close to the first one? Is it a worthy successor at the very least?
It is a enjoyable sequel that isn't going to make you go, why did they do that? And it's a good middle piece to Beetlejuice.
Okay,
when
so
they
there will be a third.
There wasn't anything concrete to lock them into it, but there's definitely room for them to do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So there's definitely some teasing, but it's not a committed, hey, Kang will return in the next Avengers movie type moment, anything like that.
I don't think I knew this, but Tim Burton's also the producer of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That makes too much sense.
Yep. Did you ever read that or watch it?
I watched it.
Bryan, do you read?
Not really.
Okay, that's great.
I'm an audiobook person, and I am of the belief
Feeling hot.
if I listen to an audiobook, I can say I read it and you can't stand in front of me.
I think if you actually listen to the whole thing, then yes. But if you just put it in the background and tune in and out, I may argue with you. But I think if you actually do listen, yes.
What else we got with Tim Burton?
So Tim Burton, we brought up, there was a huge gap between I think it was 33 years between Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice. But there are other films, Bryan, that have huge gaps as well. Are you ready for this? This segment is called Sequels That Came After a Long, Long Time. So Finding Nemo. Any guesses, Bryan? I will tell you, all of these movies over a 10-year gap.
Yeah, Finding Nemo was 2003, and the sequel would have been 2017, 14 years?
13 years.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
It was 2016 then, was Finding Dory?
I don't know. I just know the gap. Let's do The Incredibles.
2001. No, yeah, 2001. No, 2004 until 13.
14. So I'll give you that one.
Okay.
You're in one. That's a good one. You're on a good streak. Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World.
1996 until 2012. 16.
14.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. Remember, for everyone playing at home, I'm just giving Bryan the ones that are between 10 to 20 years gap. So there'll be a bonus round later. All right. Bad Boys 2 and 3. You haven't seen Bad Boys 2.
12.
17.
Is it that long? Yeah, Bad Boys 2. Yeah, no, that makes sense, actually.
That one was a... Whew. All right. This one, go higher for Indy between 3 and 4.
3 and
Still
4,
under 20.
4 was 2008, so 3 would have been in 1980, 18 years.
19.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. This one, The Godfather, between Godfather 1 and, between Godfather 2 and 3.
Should have been never. Is that an acceptable answer? 11.
16.
Wow.
All right. We're going to go up to the bigger round now. This is at least 20 years gap. Are you ready? Everyone ready at home?
Yes.
Rambo 3 and Rambo.
Last Blood. 21.
20. We talked about this one earlier. Coming to America.
88 until when did it come out? Last year? So 25.
33.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing my math very incorrectly.
That's okay.
That makes sense.
Tron.
84 to 81. I think was Tron 1. 23.
28.
Man, I need to change my math here.
No, you're going there. You're in the ballpark. Bill and Ted, between the second and third one.
31.
29. All right. last one in the 20s, Dumb and Dumber. Between that, we're not counting Dumb and Dumber. We're going to Dumb and Dumber between that and Dumber Dumber 2.
I know with 100% certainty Dumb and Dumber was December of 1994. The second one came out, I'm going to go with 24.
20.
That's it? It didn't come out in 2014, did it?
Is it a 20-year gap?
Is it that old?
Are you going to fact check me real quick?
I kind of am. Yeah, it came out in 2014. That movie came out 10 years ago?
No. So while Brian's fascinating over that, we're going to hear a word from our sponsor before we go to the lightning round.
Is Disney World home to you? Realtor Victor Naraki can help make it a reality. Realtor Victor Naraki specializes in making your Disney home dreams come true. Second homes, investment homes, retirement, relocation. With Victor's input, he will show you the home opportunities that you don't get to see as a tourist. Imagine being at the park in minutes, walking around the World Showcase for daily exercise, watching the fireworks in your own backyard, or having Disney Springs as your local mall. Have you ever heard of Windermere, Winter Garden, Horizon West, Dr. Phillips, Claremont, Lake Nona, or Disney's own Celebration and Golden Oak? Victor will introduce you to these communities, which are just minutes to the magic. Stop imagining a Disney life and start living your dream today. Call Victor at 407-340-9375. And don't forget to mention that you heard all about Victor here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Head over to celebratingflorida.com and start living your magical life today.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, now we're going to do the lightning round. So, Brian, we're going to go quick. All of these are over 30 years gaps. You ready?
Yes.
So you did Coming to America. So you got that one with 33. So we warmed you up there. Let's go ahead and do The Shining. It's over 30 years gap. Let's hear it. What are you thinking?
From The Shining to Dr. Sleep?
Yep.
34.
39.
Wow.
Blade Runner.
2049.
35 years. Did we do Tron yet? Let's do Tron.
You did
that
Tron.
One's
It was
under
29.
It was 28.
28,
That's
whatever.
fine. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, let's see if you know this one. Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
I've been waiting for this one. 1986 until 2021, which
Yeah, let's
equals
make your math is right.
35 years.
36 years.
Nah, that's just a date thing then, because it is
Okay.
35. It was 1986 till 2001.
All right. To spice things up, let's do. All right. Which one has the bigger gap? Mary Poppins or Fantasia between sequels?
Fantasia.
That is correct. You want to take a shot? It's over 50.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was obviously it was. I think it was 1941 until 2000, so 59.
Brian, that is spot on correct. No $1 over or anything. Do you want to try to guess Mary Poppins? That one's also over 50.
1960. It's going to be 53.
54.
Dang it.
We're playing Price is Right rules. You didn't go over, so that's great.
I refuse to accept being wrong on Top Gun. That's the only one because I know for a fact Top Gun's 35.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Editing note, the funny thing about facts are, apparently Top Gun Maverick came out in 2022, so it is 36 years. I admit defeat.
Kind of shame!
And then did you hear the word on the street is they are actively working on Top Gun 3 already?
Consider me shocked. Can't
So
wait.
thank you for playing for that, Brian. I mean, let's not
Well, you
cancel it.
didn't give the answer. Like, the reason you were doing it is Beetlejuice to Beetlejuice. And the answer is 36 because it came out the year I was born and it came out just now.
Woo! So yes, there was a gap in between it. Some movies work well, some movies do we really need it? But I mean, Top Gun worked very well. So if you need another great example,
it was also 6. What was the Indiana Jones? I think you said it was 16. It was 16 between 4 and 5 as well.
It was 19 between 3 and 4.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that one, I will say this as an Indiana Jones fan. That's a case of it not working that well. So,
Nah, don't let the people tell you that Dial of Destiny is bad. Dial of Destiny is better than its reputation.
I enjoy it, but I mean, we did an episode on it. I think my whole thing is the budget was too much. They should have toned it down, and there was too much special effects. But Harrison Ford's performance, people need to recognize it. I also give a shout out. Please watch the version where it's just John Williams' score.
We're also only a month away from season 2 of Shrinking.
Should have been Emmy winning Harrison Ford for that. But anyways, so Bryan, give our listeners some hope. Tell them, what are you going to go and maybe watch some Tim Burton movies now after this episode?
I said I might go watch Beetlejuice, or not. I will definitely go watch Beetlejuice. I might watch James and the Giant Peach, but the next project I will consume after those two is probably going to be Wednesday season 2.
Yeah, I'll probably rewatch Wednesday. I'm going to watch James and the Giant Peach.
I'm not currently subscribed to Netflix, but coming up on the Halloween season, I might have to.
Shout out to his movie Ed Wood. I love his movie Ed Wood with Johnny Depp. So, but anyways, that was our Tim Burton episode. Let us know if we left out something you like, if you feel that he's overrated, underrated. We will gladly talk with you as part of our Discord privileges. We will share that information on our X, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. It's all there. That does conclude this episode. We thank you, fellow fans, for uniting with us. For those listeners who want to get in touch with the show, please do so. Bryan, let them know how.
You can find us on Instagram at United We Fan Podcast, on Facebook at United We Fan the Podcast. Shoot us a message. We'll get you that link over to the Discord.
Thank you again, Bryan. Thank you as always. It's always a pleasure. Please check us out wherever you check out your podcast. Till we unite again, fans. Never forget the ghost with the most. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Ooh. You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here! Nice f***ing model!